Hello, believers, non-believers, and everyone in between. You're listening to Stories with Sapphire. I am Sapphire Sandalo. Now get cozy and open your mind because it's story time.
Hi, Oddings. Oh my gosh, sorry for the late start, everyone. There was an error in my podcast and I needed to fix it right away before I forgot. Hi, Oddings. Welcome to Stories of Sapphire Live. I'm your Ate Sapphire, and this is the weekly live stream that I do every Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. If you would like to submit a story or an email, you can submit it right here. StoriesWithSapphire@gmail.com. So today, we don't really have a theme. I just found some the stories that seem kind of cool. I don't really thoroughly read them ahead of time because I want to stay surprised, but I also don't have time. So we're going to have fun learning together. And as always, after story time, I pull a card from one of my decks and do a collective reading for everyone. I don't remember what we got last time. Does anyone remember what card I pulled last time? All right. Also, I put up a vlog today, giving y'all a little update on the channel, the future of the channel for the next month or so. I'm going to be going on out of town for a new project, and unfortunately that means I cannot work on any animated videos, but I did recently buy an iPad so that I can illustrate and animate while I'm there. That way once I get back, boom, I can get right back into it. Yeah, okay. Who is ready for the first story? This one is, should I say who it's from? Don't know yet. All right. This one's called Stay Away from the Evil Eye. Sorry, there's one little strand that's bothering me. All right, here we go. My family is very religious. A part of their beliefs is something called the evil eye. The evil eye is prevalent in many cultures, but mine specifically is Italian. I'm a first-gen Italian American. What this means is me and my brother were the first in our family to be born and raised in the U.S. As such, we have a lot of traditions that may not make sense to other Americans. These range from the Italian horn, fish on Christmas Eve, praying the rosary every night and morning, to practicing extreme superstitions. The biggest one in my family is the evil eye. Essentially, the evil eye is ill wishes wished onto you by others. To protect you, you have to wear the malocchio. You'll probably recognize it. Blue scleras with a white and turquoise iris. As I said, it's part of many cultural practices and it's not strictly Italian. When I was 10, my nana gifted me a malocchio bracelet. I was so proud. Though my nana always gifted me protection charms, I finally had my own malocchio. Unlike rosaries and crucifixes, none of my other friends had one. That's what made me so proud. When I visited her again, she noticed the bracelet was no longer on my hand. "Mariella, your bracelet, where is it?" she said, whispering in her thick Italian accent. I was a bit confused. She hardly ever spoke English. My papa always told me she didn't remember it. I suppose that's why he stopped using it as much. It broke. Why?" I said. Her eyes widened. "Principessa, when did it break?" she asked, even more worried. "Was it recently? Did you have it on earlier today? Where did you leave it?" I started to get a little bit worried. My nana was an emotional person. She cried a lot. I mean, her husband, parents, siblings, and daughter had all passed away. It's not like she didn't deserve to, but it made her hard to understand. This time, her words were clear as day. "It broke a few weeks ago. I'm sorry, Nana." She took a step back. "Ah, here," she said, taking off her malocchio necklace. "Take this." She put the necklace on my neck. I smiled. "You look beautiful, mi bambina." Listen to me very carefully. Do not take it off. She gave me yet another rosary. Pray this, please, every night, every morning, and after every meal. After every meal? That was new. But I obeyed. She seemed genuinely frightened. That's when my dad stepped in. Ma. Oh, Mariella, I was looking for you. Mama, andiamo a mangiare. I don't know if I'm saying that right, he said. Nana smiled. Oh, okay. Mariella was, the word? The word. Help me teach inglese. Her English had returned to its broken state. How odd. A few days after returning, I was electrocuted. Luckily, little damage was caused. Then I jumped off the trampoline and landed in the rocks. Still, not a scratch. Then I was attacked by my cat. I got cellulitis and was sent to the hospital. I had such bad blood loss that I fainted several times, but the infection miraculously disappeared one night. The malocchio started to fade, but it hadn't broken. Once it went completely white, the bad luck stopped. I asked my Nana about it recently. She said she didn't remember this. Whatever it was giving me bad luck, I hope everyone carries an evil eye with them. As soon as it breaks, do not hesitate to get a new one. Whoa, that's really cool. I have also heard the same thing, that if you have any protective amulets or charms that break, I've been told that it means that it worked. Like something tried to come for it and then it broke because it was deflecting a really powerful thing. I actually don't have an evil eye thingy. Maybe I should get one. I do have this. Actually, you know what? I do have an evil eye. These are literally evil eyes. Or not evil eyes. They're pairs of eyes because they represent the eyes of my ancestors watching over me. Cool. Well, thank you, Mariella. All right, next story. Next up, we've got... This one does not have a title. Here we go. Hey, Sapphire. I've been following your podcasts for a while now and have found them great to listen to while doing schoolwork. Since I'm already on the topic of school, here's an experience I went through back in 5th grade. I've always been able to see spirits since I was a kid. My mom said so herself. She told me I used to talk to my late dad, who passed away a year after I was born. Because of this, I wasn't too surprised when I started seeing things at my school. Just a bit of history about my school. It's very old, like very, very old, so that my grandfather used to study there. And it was rumored to have a cemetery built behind the auditorium. Not to mention, it was run by nuns. At the time, me and a group of batchmates were practicing a performance we needed to do for school. We were in the auditorium and it was around 4 to 5 p.m., so it was already an hour or two after our given dismissal time. To paint a picture of the auditorium, it had a big stage with 2 entrances on either side that led into the backstage. Me and a friend of mine, I'll call her M for the sake of this story, were in the right entrance of the stage, left if you're in the audience. We were talking and waiting for our cue to enter the stage when she suddenly joked about how the back of the auditorium was a cemetery, and I laughed along. She suddenly said, "Oh, imagine if there was a girl in the backstage waiting for us to come down there." With a chuckle, I turned my head to jokingly point at a random spot when I saw an actual girl. She looked to be around our age, and she was wearing the same uniform as us. I was confused. I thought M was joking. I turned back to M and told her, "Is she your classmate?" In return, M looked at me weirdly. "What do you mean? Who?" she replied. "Her, standing right over there," I pointed to a spot that was in our view. I saw how M's face dropped, even in the dim light. "There's no one there. I was joking." As if on cue, the auditorium lights flickered off, and all of us practicing started screaming and running into the actual stage. Before I ran, though, I swear I saw the girl looking directly at me, an unfamiliar glint in her eyes. After we all calmed down, M asked me if I really saw something there. I said yes, She just nodded, and we continued on with the practice until we went home. We didn't speak about the experience afterwards, but I continued to see the same girl all around the school, seemingly in every place I looked. In the cafeteria, the school grounds, the stairs, heck, even in the bathroom. The girl just appeared behind me in the reflection of the mirror. She only disappeared when the lockdown started, and I didn't go to school for 2 years. I didn't tell anyone about it until I found out that my grandfather, who also went to school there, in turn, I told my grandma about it. According to what she said, it was true that there was a cemetery behind the auditorium, and both students and employees alike saw what they call spirits lurking around there. The last employee to ever see any spirits got driven to quit because they were too haunted by what they saw. I still go to the same school, but I haven't seen her since. To this day, I wonder who that girl is. I wondered why she showed herself to me, of all people. I wonder why she was everywhere back at the time. Did she want to tell me something? Send a message, perhaps? So many questions, yet no answers. Whoa. It's so funny. I know that it's not the same school because I'm pretty sure that this took place in the Philippines because you said batchmates, which is very Filipino. It sounded, that's what I was saying. It sounded a lot like the high school I went to because it was also run by nuns, and I'm pretty sure it was haunted. There was like one building, the auditorium actually, I think was supposed to be haunted, and that's where the nuns lived. And it was a Catholic school, so we had uniforms. Well, creepy. I saw a super chat. Blob23455. Thank you for the super chat. If you don't know what a super chat is, it is a chat that you can donate any amount of money to me and my content, and it highlights your chat, and then I will I'm legally obliged to read your chat out loud. Would you be open to fan mail? I am open to fan mail. And actually, you know what? I should probably put my P.O. box on my YouTube. I recently got a P.O. box. Okay, get your pencils out. Here it is. It's P.O. Box 31047. Yeah. Los Angeles, California 90031. And then if you're sending something that can't be sent to a P.O. box, there's a non-P.O. box version, which is 3001 North Broadway, Unit 047, Los Angeles, California 90031. People have sent me items in the mail already, and it's always very fun. It's like Christmas for me. So yes, I am open to fan mail. Wait, Colorado chick, the white circle that lifted and went left? There was an orb next to me? What you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. There was an orb. It's not the campfire sparks that I have going. Guys, don't freak me out. My house is haunted. I get really scared when I'm in this closet. All right, you ready for your next story? This one is called Birthday Blessing from the Beyond. Ooh, this is from the Philippines. Here we go. Hey, Sapphire. I'm Kate from the Philippines, and this is a true story that happened to me when I was in 10th grade. There's a tradition in the Philippines that my family still follows. It's where the birthday celebrant will be anointed with fresh chicken blood by an elder, usually their mom, on their forehead. This is a way of blessing the person and keeping them off any bad luck. Then the chicken is usually served along with a handaan, all the food you prepare for the birthday. I woke up on my birthday at 5 a.m. because it was a school day, and I took out my phone to check messages and just scrolled a bit like what I usually do before I take a shower. The room was very dark except for the bit of light coming from the outside of my bedroom, which was slightly open. As I was scrolling through my phone, for some reason, I didn't feel comfortable with my position. I thought maybe it was the huge pillow hurting my neck, or maybe my legs just needed to stretch. So I turned a full 360 so my thighs were now on top of my pillow. my leg up on the wall to stretch, and my head rested where my legs used to be. As soon as that happened, I felt a thick drop of something landing on my thigh. I thought it was water leaking, but it wasn't raining that night, so that couldn't be it. So I turned on my flashlight from my phone and looked up at the ceiling. Nothing. I placed a hand on where the drop was, and my eyes turned wide in horror when I discovered it was a drop of blood. Out of nowhere. Right on my thigh. Where my forehead was supposed to be a second ago before I had the urge to turn. So I turned on the lights, called my mom and auntie, and showed them the blood. It was thick, it was red, it smelled bad. They only saw a little of it because I had already wiped my fingers on it and the rest was gone. In the end, they assumed I was just half asleep and must have had a dream with my eyes wide open, but I knew I wasn't. I saw the blood. I felt it. I smelled it. And it wasn't just a coincidence because for the entire year, I'd get sleep paralysis at least 3 times a day and see a figure, a woman with long fingers and a green ring hovering above me. Sometimes it would pretend to be my mother, so I would think I was awake. Sometimes I'd hear kids laughing as they jump on my bed and jump on my chest. It would hurt so bad I couldn't breathe. It got to the point where my bed would shake even after I woke up, that I would wonder whether it was really just sleep paralysis or something paranormal. And the strangest part of all, we didn't even have the money at the time to get me a chicken for the handaan. So why was there suddenly a drop of blood landing on where my forehead should have been? Is it just a strange coincidence? Or is it somehow a birthday blessing from the beyond? I have so many true horror stories that happened to me and my family because of our house, that although it's been blessed a couple of times by priests, it still felt like they never left. I may share more soon when I have the time. Thanks for reading. Whoa, that one's tight. Kate. I love that. Wow, 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 wow. That was really cool. I'm going to mark that one. That one needs to be on the podcast. That one's cool. Super chat, Adam Lombardo, thank you. Super chat so I can still provide my Patreon payment while billing is paused while you're on adventures. Thank you, Adam. That is very, very sweet. All right. You guys ready for your last story before we move into the collective card reading? My Mother Acts Strange, original horror story. I hate to say this, but I think my mom is becoming someone else. Someone bad. You may think I'm overreacting just by looking at the title. I mean, mood swings in parents, especially moms, are very common. So why do I think my mom is becoming a sickening person, you may ask? Well, it's a long story. That's why I'm here, ranting about it on YouTube. It's fine if you leave or don't want to help me, but please, my mom is truly sick. So sick. So dead, but still alive. It all started back in March, right after her anniversary. My mom is a single mom. Well, not really single in terms of relationship, but more just lonely. Basically, our dad works internationally, or I guess he leaves for business trips half the time. If my dad had 100 days to live, 80 of those days would be away from us. Us, meaning his own family. So as you can guess, the anniversary was with my mom and no one else. If you include me, that's fine. But in terms of a married couple, the other lovers should at least call on their anniversary, right? No. Not a single call from my father or a text. No, nothing. Though I bought cake, gifts, and even took her to the shopping mall, my mom was absolutely broken. Maybe it's the sadness from the day before, or maybe it's the several breakdowns in her room that night. But I just can't make up why my mom's acting like this. Acting like a monster. So the day after her anniversary, my mom was making breakfast in the kitchen. Nothing out of the ordinary. When I snuck up behind her, taking a peek at the salad she was preparing, my mom snapped her head towards me, with the most petrifying face I'd ever seen. Her eyes wide, too wide. Her lips shut close and so dry, but with the biggest, angriest expression ever. I almost screamed, and I did, but inaudibly. Gosh, oh my God, I said with heavy breathing that could be heard from a mile away. My mom snapped her head back down and continued doing her work. I looked in confusion. As I made my way upstairs, I couldn't help but look at her bobbing her head while making the salad. I walked up into my bedroom, fiddling my fingers. It would have all been okay, but a few minutes later, I got a call. Dad. Wait, Dad? I screamed as I saw the contact on my phone. I answered the call. Hey, you, I can't believe you left Mom all alone at the end of... My dad stopped me by saying, I miss her too, son, but you've got to accept it. Accept what? I asked hesitantly. You've got to accept, honey. Your mom's dead. It's been 5 years now. Please, son. Ah! What? My mom was dead the whole time? Ah, that's creepy. I like that. Thank you, Aishwarya. That was really cool. That was a good couple stories, I would say. All right, y'all. It's that time. It's the time for the reading of cards. That's not a song. All right, this is the Wild Mystic Oracle deck. I have not memorized each animal yet, so I am still using the guidebook. Sorry, I don't know why I paused so long at that. All right, here we go. Ooh, what animal do you think it'll be? I love when the card relates to the stories. Ooh, maybe it'll be Death card. Maybe it'll be... What else did we talk about? Talked about haunted schools. Talked about blood on... Chicken blood. Yo, let's see. Okay. I'm always worried I'm going to drop these cards. Let's do 13 again. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, that's cool. Leo season. It's a lion. We got a lion for courage. I actually have not gotten this card before yet. And it was upside down, so we're going to talk about what that means. All right, lion. This card represents bravery. The lion has long been held as a symbol of courage and valor, from Christian mythology to the inversion of the trope in The Wizard of Oz. From ancient Mesopotamia to Iran, Greek mythology to Arthurian legend, the lion has signaled honor and virtue. It is often associated with monarchy and leadership. Many monarchs known for their courage have taken the name of the lion, while the lion in heraldry symbolizes that same trait. The appearance of this card in your readings encourages nerve, valor, and heroism. Often the lion as a symbol has been instilled with themes of noble pursuits and honorable behavior. This card urges you to take the high road. When faced with temptations of vengeance, anger, or the easy way through a situation, taking the high road can often be the most courageous and difficult step. It is a message to not let oppressors get you down or situations overwhelm you. This card may also represent those born under the Western zodiac sign of Leo. The shadow reading of this card: when the lion card appears in its shadow state, courage and bravery are diminished. The inversion of bravery into fear is coupled with self-doubt, self-loathing, imposter syndrome, and a lack of confidence. the element of fire. The flora is borage, columbine, iris, mustard, pepper, and yarrow. Stones, bloodstone, garnet, labradite, peridot, parasite, and spellwork. Gaining courage in the face of adversity and overcoming fear. Ooh, I resonated with that one a little too much. All right, y'all. Let's all be aligned. Is it still? It's not still Leo season. I thought Leo was like July, right? I know so many babies that were named Leo this year. Like, ridiculous. Thank you, Colorado Chick, for the super chat. I appreciate that. All right, y'all. It's that time. We've come to the end. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I will see you. I should be here next week. So if you have not seen my vlog that I posted today, please watch it just so you know what to expect from me for the next month or so. But I promise when I come back, I'm going to be so refreshed. I'm going to be so ready to just give y'all more videos and stories. Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. It's a good time. All right. As always, you can send me an email with your stories if I didn't get to it. StoriesWithSapphire@gmail.com. Make sure you make like a cool subject line so it stands out. So many people just put, here's my story. And it's like, that's not going to catch my eye. I get so many emails. All right. I'll see y'all next week.